Drama City Productions presents.
You're plugged in for the Podcast Wrestling Society, where you can get dynamic weekly pro wrestling and MMA-related content. Give us a follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PODWRES Society so that you can stay in the know.
Faith is the place, and the sky's the limit.
And if you like what you hear, give us a 5-star review and hit that subscribe button.
Woo! 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 Woo!
Now, your host, he is the
one and only
Troy Adams.
You may lose your sanity when listening to the Podcast Wrestling Society. I'm your loving leader, benevolent host, Midwest Monster, and the bearded terror, Troy Adams. And my co-hosts for today, they are fully prepared to do the job for me so that I can be kept strong on television. They are the Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf to my Eric Young. Say hey to Greg and Ramon. What up, guys?
What up? What up? Can I be Nikki Cross instead?
No, this is non-negotiable.
And I don't lay down for anybody.
Hell, you
clearly Killian Dane, so. Oh, ha, ha.
What?
Big, sweaty man.
I replied to somebody on Twitter this past week with something about that. I got a lot of likes on this comment because the question was, if you were Vince McMahon and you had to sit down for a job interview with somebody, like you're interviewing them, what's the first question you would ask? And I said, "You're a big guy, pal. How much do you sweat?" And I got
how bad Lashley was sweating.
Oh my gosh, he was like a faucet.
Buckets, man.
I know. I thought Brock was bad.
The sweatband.
Dude, can you imagine him versus Brock? Like that's just going to be the battle of the sweaty men. Friggin' Vince McMahon is going to cross his eyes and fall backwards in his chair.
Could you imagine if Mike Chioda's the referee? That fool sweats buckets too.
Oh my gosh, I haven't noticed that.
What about that guy from APW? Imagine him as the ref. Oh my God. Oh, Sparky.
Was there a referee from APW?
DJ, there's a referee, like he blows up 2 minutes in every match. And we were not joking, man. He's beat red, and he is like gushing sweat. As a matter of fact, we'll try to get a picture next week.
Wow.
Not only that, then they make him referee back-to-back matches, so he's just out there like,
oh man,
for air.
That is not good. Good Lord. Wow. Well, on that note, I actually have later on in the show a story that may interest the both of you about a local guy that you guys know very well. I'll get to. But let everybody know this is the official reboot of the Podcast Wrestling Society. For those of you who have been listening for so long, thank you, and I'm glad you're still listening on. We have moved from Podomatic. We have ported over to Whooshka. So you may be noticing that this is labeled Episode 1. That is because it's the same show. We're just changing the format up a little bit, and I'll explain that in a second. But we're on a brand new platform. It's no longer Podomatic for, just reasons. We wanted to change up the show. We wanted to change up the platform. Podomatic's been great to us, but, we wanted to try something else, shake it up a little bit. And so we are now officially on Whooshka, and we are still going to be on iTunes and all that good stuff. So, definitely keep up with us there. There might be some technical issues for a couple of weeks, but I will try to make that the transition as painless as possible. Also, instead of doing 2 or 3 episodes in a week, we are doing 1 episode. It will air on Wednesdays, unless, of course, there is a pay-per-view. Then we'll do the reviews and previews and whatnot with Kyle. But yeah, we're gonna cram the list, bro, and the news all into 1 episode. I've talked it over with Greg and Ramon. We all feel very comfortable with the format change, and I thank you both for the suggestions that you have given me. And we're gonna change. We're gonna shake things up. So I'm confident.
We come up with the ideas. TJ just puts it together. Yeah.
Yeah,
we're the brains of the operation.
You're the idea man. Yeah. So, you're the Johnny.
So we're rebooting this just like Vince Russo did WCW in 2008.
No, just shut up.
Forget all the previous feuds.
We're gonna
stripping away all the belts, bro. New champions galore.
We're stripping the championships away.
Tournaments, bro.
We're gonna have tournaments, bro. You gotta say it right. Tournaments.
This is now the podcast on a pole match, bro.
Look, bro, if we could put this podcast on a pole, we would do it, bro. But, we're working with what we got, bro. Yeah, Ramon, I don't think you were around when I was telling Greg about this on the podcast a while ago. I guess Bruce Pritchard was talking about, like, the 3 weeks in 2002 that Vince Russo worked for the WWE again. And he was talking about he came in and he got booted right away because he comes in right after WrestleMania 19 and was like, so I want to know, is Triple H and Chris Jericho ever worked a program together? Or no, it wasn't. Sorry, what WrestleMania was that? That it was Triple H and it was 18. Yeah, okay, it was right after WrestleMania 18. And he was like, has Triple H and Chris Jericho ever worked together? And they're like, dude, they just had a match at Mania for the world title.
They just had the match at WrestleMania. In the main event.
Yeah, and then he was like, here's my idea, bro. We're going to strip all the championships of all the champions of their titles. We're going to have tournaments, bro. And they're like, get the F out.
That's basically what Bischoff ended up doing anyways.
It was just so stupid. It was like he wanted to reboot the company.
You don't say.
I know, but it's like you want to come in after you already did it in WCW and ruined everything. You want to do it again in WWE. Brilliant.
We're gonna have tournaments for all the belts, and then at the end we're gonna swerve, bro. The belts are just gonna be hanging from poles. And first person to grab it wins. Women's titles, tag titles, it doesn't matter, bro.
Wow.
Oh my God.
This sounds.
It's sad how he's
great.
It's sad how he's not
He's not exaggerating.
He's right on the money.
Yeah. Mother of God. All right. Well, the new format, ladies and gents, is we're going to do a chunk of news. We format it. We start off with WWE news, unless the biggest news of the week is from elsewhere. This week it is not. So we're doing WWE news first, and then I will read my list, and then we're going to take a quick break, let you know about another podcast on Drama City Productions Podcast Network. When we come back, we will do some more news, and one of you, lucky bros, is going to read your list, and then we're going to take another break, and so on and so forth. So that's kind of the new format, and just to let you, so you get your news, you get a list, news list, so on and so on. So this week the list is the top 10 sequels to wrestling matches. So I have 10, but there were so many great ones. I actually got 8 honorable mentions that if you guys don't mention it at the end of the podcast, I will name off my honorable mentions. But I have a feeling that our lists, all three of us, are probably going to be similar in some aspects, but also I think they're going to contrast a lot. So I'm anxious to see.
I think Earl and I have the same number one. I'm almost certain.
Yeah, I'm actually anxious to see if we all have the same number one. I don't know, but it's a good possibility.
Spoilers, guys. Spoilers. It's Michael Cole versus JR and Lawler with Swagger in that. Man, that's the one I had. From Extreme Rules. So
I thought you were going to say.
If you're still listening, that's going to be my answer.
I thought you were going to say Hogan Warrior 2 at Halloween Havoc.
Which is available now in the archives on YouTube. Let's check it out.
Or,
even though this is a reboot of the podcast, I think that's been done to death.
Or, you could have mentioned Taker Giant Gonzalez. They had a great
sequel
rematch.
to that?
Yeah, where was that, Greg?
So,
didn't they have 2 matches, Greg? Didn't they have a rematch from WrestleMania? Didn't they have a...
yeah, that's SummerSlam. It was a Rest in Peace match.
Yeah, there you go. And what was the goal of the Rest in Peace match? They never say.
What was it? A Rest My Eyes match?
Yeah, or go rest your ass on the toilet match. Say what?
I think it was just a no DQ, if I remember right.
Yeah, there was like no...
So, just to be clear, TJ's going to do his list first, And then Greg and I are going to do a New Age Outlaw style rock, paper, scissors to determine who goes second. Okay?
Wow. Well, Billy Gunn always lost, so you always
know.
He
also lost in rock, paper, scissors, too.
Wow. Oh, man. Hey, if there's any Billy Gunn fans out there, well, screw you, I guess.
They're the one Billy Gunn fan.
Mother of God. I was actually a big Billy Gunn fan back in the day.
I never knew we'd meet you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Billy Gunn's fan.
No, speaking of that, I'm gonna say this. On Twitter, I actually found out this week there are some diehard Jason Jordan fans out there.
Oh yeah, I want to get into that when you get a chance.
Oh my gosh!
This conversation. This is some money right here.
Let's get into it right now. Like just before we get into the news, real quick, I got on Twitter. And one idiot that always has terrible takes on things. He posted something. He tweeted. He was like, "Man, Jason Jordan needs to come back and have his rightful feud with Seth Rollins, and rescue the Intercontinental title away from Dolph Ziggler, and just bring some legitimacy to it." And I was like, "Dude, Jason Jordan sucks." I was like, "He's a good wrestler, but I said he's a piece of plain white toast with no butter and a glass of milk on the side. He's boring." I said, and he's not over. Nobody cares about him. And he was like, and he didn't reply to me. He quoted my tweet because the guy's an idiot. He quoted my tweet and said, "It's always idiots like you with podcasts that have the worst takes." And I'm like, who doesn't have this take?
And who doesn't have a podcast?
Yeah, that's another one. But I'm just like, really? Because and there was one dude who came to his aid. It was like, oh yeah, like Jason Jordan is the best. I'm like, the best at what? Tiddlywinks? Like,
are they confusing him with Chad Gable?
Yeah, I know.
Do they not know the difference between the two of them are?
Yeah, it's like, dude,
they're obviously cousins, by the way.
What the hell?
The two fans might take you a second to get why they're cousins. But let's see if you get it.
I don't know, but
Uncle Dave. Go on.
Wow. You talking the guys on Twitter. Yeah. But yeah, this took me a little bit too until I was typing it out on my iPhone. And for those of you that have an iPhone, you might know this. When you type a word, it'll give you an option to change it to an emoji. And I didn't think about this till now. Jason Jordan and his last name and Chad Gable's first name are countries. Jordan and Chad.
Oh, yeah. I think that's true.
Yeah. So but I replied to somebody with that line, by the way. I was like, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't think you existed, but ladies and gentlemen, here they are, the Jason Jordan fan.
Both of them.
Yeah, and they quit replying to me after that, especially when I told the one, I was like, dude, if you're going to reply to me, reply to me. Don't quote my tweet and act like a douche, but whatever.
He tweeted you. And honestly, until you brought this conversation up, I forgot Jason Jordan was even on the roster.
I know. I'm like, who even remembers this guy still exists? And then people keep wondering. They're like, dude, he's been cleared for like 2 months. Where is he?
They had nothing for him, bro. He's going to be a Jason Jordan on a pole match.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
No, they're going to have a custody ladder match where custody of Jason Jordan is above the ring, and it's Kurt Angle versus Shelton Benjamin for custody of or Kurt Angle versus Chad Gable.
Kurt Angle versus Jason Jordan. No, it's going to be Kurt Angle versus Jason Jordan himself, and if he wins, he gets to be his own father.
What the hell? Oh my gosh! But I was like, dude, the only way he was ever over was as one half of American Alpha. Period. Other than that, crowd doesn't give a damn about him. But apparently, I have a terrible take because I state facts. Like, dude, can you name one time he's gotten any reaction other than when they booed so loud to try to drown him out? Like
when he threw those veggies at Elias.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. TV magic. Just wow. Blew me away.
And he did it again.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys ready to dive into some news here? The news, bro.
Oh, I'm done for the all I need here. I'm good. I just need my kids to join me. Good night, everybody.
Wow. And just letting you guys know, the social media is still the same. Even though we've switched providers to Hushka, podcast hosts, I should say, not providers. We are still same Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, still at PodRes Society, PODWRES Society. For the new listeners, definitely go and follow us. You can get our takes on stuff. You can get, breaking news. You can get our YouTube videos shared and all that. And definitely go to YouTube and search for Podcast Wrestling Society. And subscribe and like the videos, please. It's very appreciated. Anyway, diving into the news, bro. WWE news here. Hulk Hogan has been reinstated to the Hall of Fame. So I don't know if we covered that last week, really. I think the news broke after we recorded, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so we didn't really get to cover that very much last week. But the Hulkster's back, brother. And he was backstage at Extreme Rules. Brian Alvarez of Wrestling Observer is now saying that he's heard that Hulk Hogan's Extreme Rules speech was not filmed. By that, he means Hogan apparently delivered a speech to the locker room. It was supposed to be like an apology speech for, dropping the N-word, brother. And, yeah. So
his speech wasn't recorded? Did Hogan say that? Because if anyone knows anything about being recorded, it's not really Hogan.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't think I was recorded this time, brother. I really swear. Dude, if you think about it, that's twice. Because he was... Did he know he was being recorded when he was, for lack of a better term, boning his best friend's wife?
I don't know. No, supposedly that was not known either.
Okay, so he didn't know he was being recorded boning his best friend's wife. He didn't know he was being recorded dropping the N-word to his son while in jail. Like, it just... man. Like, he really needs to, have somebody, around him at all times searching for bugs. Like, that's all I gotta say.
If you can have that drug-sniffing dog that bit Shinsuke.
Yeah, well, yeah, that dog was racist, too. So there you go. I'm just kidding. I'm leaving
that alone.
I don't think Hogan's racist, but it has come out that...
The dog is, though, for sure.
Oh, well, hell yeah. That dog bit Shinsuke for no reason whatsoever. Well, I don't know. We're assuming here, Ramon, that dog could have bit him because he tried to Pinchasa him. And he didn't like it. So I don't know.
That's true.
So I don't know. We're assuming. But in the words of Shinsuke Nakamura, God bless America. So there you go. He's I don't know about you guys, but the internet's been blowing up. They love how freaking extra weird he is being with the U.S. title, by the way. I don't know if you guys have picked up on it.
Some people love the U.S. title. I think he's in love with the U.S. title.
Oh, yeah. And by extension, he's in love with America. So God bless the USA, red, white, and blue.
Because America.
Hell yeah. But, Titus...
They will stand for the national anthem.
Yeah. Titus O'Neil was rumored to have gotten so upset that Hogan was backstage that he picked up and left. Titus himself has said that didn't happen. So that was just, people stirring crap up. But Titus himself and the New Day had all been bombarded on social media by, apparently, according to them, by...
Why those four? That's weird. I don't get it. Yeah, that's weird.
I wonder why.
People to ask.
Asking them why, what their thoughts are on Hogan's speech and him coming back and whatnot. Mark Henry has apparently said the locker room's African-American contingent was 50-50 on Hogan. The New Day and Titus have said it's not true. They said it's more leaning towards less acceptance of Hogan being back than the other way. But they have said... I don't know, in their statements, I haven't saved them. I'm not going to read the whole thing. They were very long. They were, well worded. Basically, they said it's not their, call one way or another, Hogan being back, obviously. And they said they don't really care. They feel he deserves a second chance. But at the same time, they said they don't personally want to associate with him too much. And they said that they felt his apology was rather weak because they said he didn't really apologize for saying what he said. He more or less said he was sorry he was recorded saying what he said. So I don't know. That was what they said.
They just nitpicks.
I guess. I kind of get what they're saying because they said, well, he didn't exactly say, I'm sorry for saying what I said. He said, I'm sorry that, I was recorded saying it, which I get it. Why I get the difference, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know of any stories before this of anybody claiming that Hogan was racist, even kind of. Do you?
No, I never heard it. I don't know any. I never heard anything.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know.
I think Titus's point was he's willing to, forgive Hogan if he does show an effort of remorse. And
yeah, that's what
I guess to just the black community or just community in general.
Right, and I guess Kofi spoke. He released a statement on behalf of the whole New Day, and he basically said the same thing. So I don't know exactly what effort they're looking for from Hogan, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out soon, hopefully. I just hope he's going to be at SummerSlam.
It's got to be a touchy subject either way.
Oh, yeah. Well, I hope he's going to be at SummerSlam. Some people think he's going to be booed if they bring him out, but, I mean, how is the whole crowd going to boo Hulk Hogan?
I highly doubt that. I highly doubt it. I doubt it as well.
Well, Greg, you and I were in New York right after this incident, and I mean, you can always argue not everybody heard about it, but it was very big news at that time, and I was walking around wearing a Hulkamania t-shirt, and I got compliments from black guys on the shirt.
Yeah.
So,
I remember that one specifically in Walgreens in Times Square, and he was like, "Oh my God, I love your shirt."
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. It's a big deal to some people, not a big deal to others. It's just...
I mean, I don't think it should have been said, but...
Well, yeah.
Let's not take things out of context.
Yeah, well, and let's get something clear. I don't think any of us are defending anything he said. Like, it wasn't good. But at the same time, it also wasn't good that somebody was eavesdropping on him and recorded a private conversation. So...
Well, Booker T, on his podcast, said, come on, we've all said things behind closed doors. He said he admitted himself.
Yeah.
He's like, you can't hold that against someone. Anyone knows about saying things and being around Hogan is Booker T.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Oh, there was another time back
in... called him that word himself.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
On a live pay-per-view.
Yep. Have they officially... Because I heard that WWE originally edited that out and then unedited it, but...
Oh, no, it's still on there.
Oh, it's on there? Like, he actually says it on the network?
It's on there as clear as day.
Oh,
yeah.
My gosh, that's awesome. I don't know if it's awesome, but it's hilarious. It was just because it was funny because he says it and and you can see it in his face. He's like, crap, I messed up, because he buries his head in his hands for a second and then he's like, never.
Well, I heard an interview with him and he said the first thing he said was, crap, I'm fired, I'm done.
Well,
and then he said, and I quote, Hogan came up to him after and said, "Don't worry, bro, I'm a good N-word."
What the hell?
Booker T said Hogan said this to him.
Oh, my gosh.
He's been driving him home for years.
Wow. Well, Hogan...
I'm not trying to make light of it, but I'm just saying the context in which he used that word is a lot different.
Well, yeah. Hey, Hogan is the original brother, okay? So, he's Big Brother Hogan. So, but yeah, so anyway, for my money... $10 a month. I'm hoping to see him at SummerSlam. That's all I'm saying. I miss...
One more side note on this. I blame Brooke. If he didn't have her, he wouldn't have even said the words, so whatever.
Oh, my gosh. I blame the fact that he was trying to get her into show business and, somebody lied to her and said, you have talent, because... No, you don't. Just stop.
Oh, she's very talented.
Just not in the way she thinks. So... Moving on, something less controversial here. Extreme Rules Fallout news here. I guess Vince McMahon was not backstage at Extreme Rules, according to the Wrestling Observer. PW Insider says he did communicate with people who ran the show, including Triple H and Billy Kidman, who ran Gorilla Position.
That's an odd duo.
Yeah, I know.
I never... The Gorilla team who's in charge backstage. Billy Kidman is the first one that comes to my mind.
Who the hell's running this show? Triple H is back there with Kidman. What? Wow. I've seen...
What? Triple H is back there?
Yeah.
The guy with the 7-year itch?
Wow. Well, I've seen... I actually saw a picture today of back Gorilla Position. Vince McMahon was sitting right next to Road Dogg at Gorilla. I'm like, when I think of a nice duo, Vince McMahon and Road Dogg don't exactly pop into my head that those two would,
Yeah.
be
Well, if you watch
working together.
the Hardy Boys special, now available in the archives on WWE Network, you can clearly see them together.
Nice. Yeah, it's funny. But, yeah, Triple H and Billy Kidman ran Extreme Rules. How about that? All right, well,
according to rumor and innuendo, they made the switch of the main event, which was originally going to open the show, I guess.
yeah, that's what I heard. See, I still think they made a bad... Not that that was a terrible match to close a show. However, I feel that if they would have switched them last two matches, it would have been a perfect order. Because I feel with Ziggler going over...
the one time, like, Rowan puts on a match as praise, it's not the show closer.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's not even that. It's I feel that AJ and Rusev still should have gone on last, and that Iron Man should have gone on right before it. Because I feel that, I mean, I liked the Iron Man, I really did, but I still feel that WWE title match was strong enough where it could have closed the show justifiably.
Here's what that tells me, though, that they still, since, like, technically the IC title is the top belt on Raw.
Yeah.
Technically, like, that's their world title at the moment. They clearly care more about the Raw big title.
Oh, well, yeah.
The SmackDown big title. So that's why it went on last.
Well, yeah, which, I don't know. AJ and Rusev put on a much better match than I honestly thought they would. Not that, I dislike either one of them guys, but I didn't know how well they'd work together. I thought they were great. So, I don't know. I think Rusev proved that he deserves to be there.
So the WWE title is less than Raw's 2 titles?
Yep. Logic, pal.
Ramon doesn't even care, dude. After the first match of the night, he was set. He didn't give a damn about the rest of the pay-per-view. He's absolutely right. All I cared about was the Raw tag titles.
I did mark out, and when Curtis Axel tried to do the flossing dance up on the stage with the belt, I was like, oh my God, that I can die happy. That was great. By the way, for all of you that are listening now, we're recording this before Raw and SmackDown, so just letting you know. But Kyle and I are, well, as of listening to this, we did attend SmackDown live in Cincinnati, and we will have a wrap-up for that. So,
are they going to Raw?
Or yeah, I'm sorry, we're going to Raw. That's it. We're going to Raw live in Cincinnati. We'll have a wrap-up for that and all that. So. We'll talk more about...
And TJ is going to be there talking to a certain promoter who's going to be there scouting.
Oh, mother of God.
Story.
Don't even bring it up. Why is this guy...
Stay tuned.
So why is this guy supposedly... Let's just go down this rabbit hole for a second. We're talking about... For new listeners, we're talking about a promotion that some guy that we know believes that he is opening up called... Well, he hasn't said a name for it. We've called it Hobo Championship Wrestling. Hobo with a B. We are not homophobic here on this show, so don't take it the wrong way. But supposedly the promoter of said promotion lives down in Florida, and the guy he's like clearly trolling about it lives here in Ohio, like Southwest Ohio. If this is the case, why is he...
TJ's best friend.
Oh, shut up. No. I haven't talked to this kid in years. But anyway... Greg talks to him on an hourly basis. Gets live updates. Those are facts.
True.
But
only to get a certain video game knowledge.
Oh my gosh! But anyway, if this promoter lives in Florida and this guy that we know of lives in this area, why doesn't the promoter, instead of flying all the way up here and paying for a ticket and blah, 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 why doesn't he just send money or buy a ticket for said guy that we know? Wouldn't that be easier?
You would think.
Yeah, so there you go.
This promoter's loaded with cash, man. He's like a billionaire.
Oh, well, yeah, and everybody's going to recognize, the guy that we know because he's about to blow up in the wrestling industry. So, they'd let him backstage. Well, actually, no, they might not because they'd be afraid he's going to steal talent. So, all this is real.
Down, man.
All this is real, ladies and gentlemen. Real stuff that has been said. We're not. When we talk about HCW, we're not making this stuff up. This is stuff that has been said, and we're repeating it because it's so stupid. Anyway, back to the real news, bro. Real news. Randy Orton.
Hey, HCW is real news, but whatever.
Wow. Randy Orton was hidden on
We'll get into that when we get to the bigger WWE news.
Randy Orton was hidden on a bus until 30 minutes before his return, according to PW Insider. So apparently nobody knew he was there.
As much as I love Randy Orton, this is not exactly the Hardys at WrestleMania 33.
Yeah.
Why? It's not like everyone marched for it or something.
Yeah, I know. And by the way, instead of what actually happened at Extreme Rules, if they would have done at Extreme Rules what actually happened on SmackDown this past week, I think that would have been the best way. Like, not reverse, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? It was just stupid. I just, because I'm like, okay, he runs up, low blows him, knees him in the head, and I was like, okay, well, Hardy's going away for a while. Nope, Randy Orton comes out, kicks him right in the junk. I'm like, so he's not going away for a while, or is this setting up a feud for when Hardy comes back? I don't know. And then what happened on SmackDown was sick. I never want to see anything like that again.
By the way, Jeff Hardy's junk, man, it took a hell of a beating on Sunday.
Oh my gosh, right? Yeah. I hope he was wearing a cup.
You ever seen the episode of The Simpsons when Moleman keeps getting hit in the junk with the football? Yeah.
I have not seen that.
That's what it was like for Jeff Hardy. Like, why was that the thing too? Yeah.
You remember the longest
going for that area? Why?
I know, it's weird. Like, you remember the longest yard? You must always protect the McNuggets.
Yep.
It was just like, dude, lay off. Speaking of another injury, according to PW Insider, I was wondering about this. Apparently, Kane's injury is to his Achilles tendon. He was legitimately injured before the pay-per-view, which is why he was in the boot. It occurred on the July 10th SmackDown. So
no, his opponent for mayor freaking took him out, Tanya Hardy style.
What the hell?
Yeah, no. You thought the national anthem was a controversy. This is taking a knee.
Holy crap! Good grief!
The Devil Saver Libertarian is on one leg.
Would you vote for this man? He once electrocuted some man's testicles on live TV. Anyway.
That is 3 testicle comments we've gotten in on this podcast now.
Give the people what they want, pal.
And I haven't even brought up Naked Median yet. Oh, my God.
You just did.
Joey Ryan.
Good Lord. Give the people what they want, pal. More talk about men's genitals. Anyway.
Get them naked. Sweaty.
Moving on, Kane is not expected back on WWE TV anytime soon due to his mayoral campaign in Tennessee. So he comes in, gets hurt.
That's November. That's November, right?
Yeah.
I assume. I mean, I just assume it's November.
Yeah, it's November. Yep.
So probably not any time before Survivor Series.
No. So basically,
which we will be at, by the way.
No, yeah, I have a talk about that coming up. Something exciting about that. But yeah, so Kane comes back, gets hurt, jobs out to the bludgeons, and he leaves. Cool. Good run. And he gets a new terrible looking shirt, by the way. That shirt is awful.
So we got Pyro back for one night.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, and Daniel Bryan got to do it. Not even Kane. Man, just what the hell ever. And we got Dr. Shelby back for one night, and it wasn't even for them. We'll get to that later.
Great.
The Wrestling Observer notes that
I'm always down for some Bailey talk. But...
Oh, yeah. Well, I know Ramon is. The Wrestling...
Ramon Bailey? No, Bailey's creep.
Wow.
I'm what Aunt Lover is to that season.
My God. The Wrestling Observer newsletter notes that it was Kevin Dunn who made the decision to take the clock off of the Titantron during the Iron Man match at Extreme Rules.
He probably touched it with his teeth every time that he clicked down.
Yeah, I talked with a coworker of mine that went to that show. He said when the countdown started, it happened like that countdown, the stupid rumble countdown that the crowd was doing, that went on for a little while, and then they took the clock off of the screen, like the big screen, and the crowd booed, and then they noticed, hey, it's on the ticker above, so they started using that. So they took it off of that, crowd booed again, so they just started making up a countdown time.
I knew it, because they started doing like the middle of the time, like 3, 2, 1, it was like 23 seconds left or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, you thought it was annoying?
I think there's a point where we were watching it where like, what are they booing for? Oh, here comes McIntyre. Something like that. He said something like that.
Well, you remember like...
booed heavily.
Well, do you remember that part in the match where the crowd pops like super heavy, just like for nothing?
Yeah.
apparently it was a beach ball in the crowd.
Well, of course it was.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So people cry, oh, they're shoving Roman down our throats. He always closes a show. We want Rollins, blah, blah, blah. Rollins closes a show. They crap all over it.
Rollins made a show, but he closed it with Dolph, and also Roman lost cleanly.
Yep.
So wait a minute, is all your internet darlings, and you still cried about it?
Yep. It was pathetic. So, the crowd, for all their crying and whining and marking and whatever else, they just proved Vince McMahon right that Roman should close the show and Rollins and Dolph aren't worth it. So there you go. Thanks, Pittsburgh. You suck again. I knew I hated Pittsburgh for multiple reasons.
Wait, I thought you liked Pittsburgh.
Not even kind of.
So that was your favorite town, bro.
No, that's...
For those who might not know, he's a hardcore Browns fan, so that's like public enemy number one.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I mean, hell,
So
we're not too fond of the Steelers over here. I didn't say it.
Say what?
Nothing.
All right, anyway.
Nothing. Go on.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah, so Pittsburgh sucks again. My buddy said if it was annoying for us, watching it on the network, he said it was beyond annoying in the crowd because they were super loud, wouldn't shut up, and he said it was super distracting for those trying to watch it. Kind of like...
I just throw something in there? I don't want to say it's just Pittsburgh. I think it's Pennsylvania fans as a whole.
Yeah, that
not
whole...
fair to just say them because Philly's no better.
No, yeah, and if we have any listeners in Pennsylvania, thank you for tuning in, whatever, but I'm sorry, I'm about to crap all over your entire state. The whole state of Pennsylvania sucks, and I know because my family lives up on the PA border in Ohio, and when I go up to visit them, I go over into PA quite a bit for malls and stuff. They suck. They just freaking suck. So
compared to New Orleans, people of Reading, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Real quick, TJ, compare that to New Orleans.
Man, I don't know.
True, Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Oh, that was another thing.
Two Billy Kidman references.
Wow. That was another thing.
Compared to Nola.
Well, somebody online actually on Twitter was like, because they shared a story about that they're taking bids for the next WrestleMania in 2020, and the person replied and were like, why can't they just have it in New Orleans every year? And I was like, how about no? I'm like, how about never have it in New Orleans again? That entire city sucked. I was like, yeah. Me and my friend went, and we couldn't wait to leave. Like, just, oh
man,
that was
miserable.
That was a junk place.
Side note, real quick. Bourbon Street, totally overrated. Just so you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, unless you really like bars, and I can't compare it because I don't go to a lot of bars, so I don't know how theirs compare to other bars. But there you go, for what it's worth. But either way, Wrestling Observer Online's Brian Alvarez says that Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins both requested that the clock go back up on the screen for timing purposes over the last 10 minutes. From what I heard, both of them were beyond pissed off that they took the timer off the screen because they said it was harder for them to time out their match because of that. Which I get it.
Yes, because every match always has a timer up there, and they've never been able to turn a match.
Yeah, I get. I mean, I get the argument, but at the same time, like it's easier for like a match like that if you have that timer. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't know.
Not to break the fourth wall, but what about the ref?
Yeah, well, I'm sure getting constant cues from the referee. So I don't know. It's just. I can see their frustration because the crowd just crapped all over it for no reason. I don't get it. We want Rollins, then they get Rollins. Screw this.
They could have just completely. I'm gonna assume that that Dolph was loved there. That's what I don't get.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, the Cleveland boy. By the way, the fact that he had the word evil across the butt of his tights was I don't know about you guys. I thought that was so stupid. Like, that's worse than putting hashtag
evil. If you don't know what he is, just look at his ass. It says evil on there.
Right, yeah. No, see, I thought it was, because Kyle brought up, he was like, well, given the color scheme, I thought it was like Evel Knievel. I was like, yeah, but it's not spelled the same. Evel Knievel spells his, like, I think with a Y. So.
With E.
Or, yeah, that was it with an E.
Homage to Evil from New Japan.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. It's just like, that was probably his worst tights he's ever wore, or at least in the top 3. But anyway.
I don't know. Those old thread on these SummerSlam ones are pretty dumb.
I don't remember those ones. What did they look like?
They're like all silver and have the old thread on me logo on it.
No. Yeah, I don't remember too much. Moving on to the SummerSlam news here. The Observer notes that it's not confirmed that Undertaker is wrestling at SummerSlam, but there is still plenty of talk about it.
Plans can change, bro.
Yeah. Hashtag plans change.
Mark Holloway's going to set himself on fire between now and SummerSlam.
He's going to
never be seen from again, bro.
Somebody's going to climb up to the top rope, bro, set their leg on fire, and do a flying guillotine leg drop, bro. Have you seen that video?
What the hell?
Have you seen that?
Swerve, he's going to miss, bro.
Have you seen that viral video, though? Some fat dude, it was like a cage match. So it makes it even worse. This fat dude crawls up to the top rope. The referee, who's apparently helping the guy, pours lighter fluid all over this guy's leg. He sets his leg on fire.
Oh, God.
He sets his leg on fire, jumps off with a flying leg drop, and then realizes, oh crap, my whole leg is on fire. And he's just like jumping around the ring. The referee's like patting at it. I'm like, wow. And he's just like ablaze at this point.
Did he at least stay in character and pin his opponent?
No, he was like flipping around the ring trying to put himself out. It was really
so unprofessional.
I know, right? He should have went for the 3 count, bro. His shoulders were down.
Should have no sold it, bro.
No sell it, then you get lit on fire. You're gone forever. My God. AJ Styles is currently penciled in to face and beat Samoa Joe at SummerSlam. That's a rumor, obviously. But, I mean, after...
I don't mind Joe winning, but...
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, I want to see them trade the belt back and forth. That would be... I mean, I don't like hot potato with the title, but at the same time...
I would like AJ to hold it through January, though, so he can hold it in 3 straight calendar years.
Man, that's
I'm
crazy.
never going to complain that AJ Styles is the WWE champion.
No,
but
yeah.
I would have been happy if Rusev had beat him. I would have been happy if Shinsuke had beat him. And I'd be happy if Joe beat him.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. And I think Samoa Joe, would benefit from being the WWE champ for a while. Have a legit heel champion that, if they want somebody like Brock Lesnar that's like, oh, he's legitimate and it seems like he can just beat the crap out of anybody. It's like, there you freaking go. And he does more than suplex.
And he shows up every night.
Exactly, yeah. But whatever. I don't know. These two, I think, if you're gonna
gets injured.
Yeah. Well, these two could freaking tear the friggin' house down at SummerSlam. If that's the match, man, I'm super looking forward to it.
I don't think so, man.
Oh yeah. Did you?
Not enough super kicks for me, bro.
Wow. Did you guys happen to watch? Because I just watched it the other day. Did you guys happen to watch that Something Else to Wrestle With on the WWE Network about AJ and TNA?
Yeah, not yet.
Okay. Well, there was one part. Bruce Pritchard said when he first went to TNA, he said the rap he was getting from on AJ Styles, especially from Vince Russo, was AJ's hard to work with. He doesn't like to take suggestions. He's not working with us. And what he found out was, no, he's not working with you. He doesn't want to be mini Ric Flair. So they said that.
Oh yeah.
They said that's why they had him drop the title when they did, because they said, oh, he's not working with us. He's not taking our writing suggestions. So we're gonna have him drop the belt to somebody more cooperative. Like, really?
They made AJ into a joke.
Yeah. Well, like, and even Pritchard himself was saying, he was like, you want to make him into mini Ric Flair. You want him to wear these robes, first of all, that he was like, Flair spent like $10,000 per robe. You're spending $200 on AJ's robes. It looks like he's cosplaying as Ric Flair. It looks stupid.
I think Pritchard said that there was cosplayers that had better robes
than
AJ Styles robes.
WWE currently sells Ric Flair robes in a box that look about as good as the ones AJ was wearing on TV. So take that for what it's worth. And why did AJ have to be mini Ric Flair? He didn't wrestle anything like him. He didn't look anything like him. He was AJ freaking Styles. He wasn't Ric Flair. But whatever.
He got frosted tips on his hair.
Yeah, he came to a compromise with him.
TJ, like, what was the point of that?
because they felt that AJ
there
was
nothing
bland.
about Ric Flair in AJ Styles' style. Well, they're the very best.
Because they said that AJ was bland and he needed more of a character to him. I'm like, why? He really didn't. But anyway, I don't know. It's freaking stupid.
Bro,
yeah.
TNA never recuperated from totally dropping the ball with AJ Styles.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, that Prince of Phenomenal run was great. They just acted like they didn't know what the hell to do with him, which is pathetic. You got one of the best wrestlers in the world at the time, and,
No, you're right, the best.
He was one of, if not the
He's
best.
always been the best.
I don't know. He was in the top 2 or 3. Yeah, he's in the top 2 or 3.
Well,
right now, I would say
Greg and I have
undeniably
had
he's the
this
best.
argument for, 15 years now?
Yeah.
It's AJ.
Well, we'll get to a comment about that here soon. Not that per se, but, related to that. Last SummerSlam story here. Brock Lesnar is being advertised for the July 30th Raw in Miami by the American Airlines Arena. It would be his first WWE television. It would be his first television appearance since April, and he's expected to interact with his SummerSlam challenger. Obviously, this is being recorded after Raw, where we will find out his challenger, supposedly. I'm kind of hoping it's a triple threat. I know I always rail against multi-man matches, but I think this would be a good spot for that.
It's going to be a fatal 4-way. Braun's going to cash in and be in it.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, because I was
talking... That
talking...
would be the dumbest cash-in ever.
I was talking to a coworker about that. I was like, the best way, if they really want to put over Braun as a Universal Champ, have a triple threat, and then have Braun come out and beat down not 1, not 2, but 3 big, beefy men and win the championship, and then he looks like a world beater.
3 beefy.
Frickin' beefy.
All right, I guess that's better than how I imagined it. Beefy, sweaty men.
I figure he's just going to come out, take a dump on all 3 of them, and walk out the champ. So, I mean, I think...
I hope that doesn't happen.
I mean, I don't get me wrong. I like Bobby Lashley and
Roman. So
every big show you go to or Roman's main eventing, you get screwed.
Except for last year WrestleMania, but
yeah, hell, even
1 for 4.
Hell, even shows you don't attend where he's in the main event, you still get let down. So
Roman's gonna get cashed in on with a 3rd time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Real quick, the comment about the best in the world thing. Ramon, you texted me about this. I'd seen this earlier on Twitter, and I replied to it, and then you sent that to me, where Dave Meltzer had said, the 10 best wrestlers in the world right now are all in New Japan. And I was like, AJ Styles and Seth Rollins say hello. And
Finn Balor, Daniel Bryan.
Yep, that's what you guys...
Nakamura.
Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Aleister Black. I mean, just... And I'm not saying that all of them...
I might even throw Dolph Ziggler in there, too. So, what?
Yeah, Almas is another one. Ziggler, quite possibly, depending on your taste. Yeah, maybe. But, don't get me wrong. I love a lot of wrestlers in New Japan, but really, 10 out of 10 best wrestlers in the world currently wrestle in New Japan. Like, get off it, dude. Like, who are you kidding? That's pathetic. Like, I know it's all objective, or you're subjective, excuse me, and open to interpretation, but, like, for the love of God, it's sad at this point that he says this crap. But then he'll turn around.
Well, get some more hits and get some more subscribers, so I will credit him with that. He's going to get kicked out of his little friendship with the Bucks and stuff.
Wow. Well, this is a thing with him. I will agree with this statement. He's brought up before. He's like, I just state my opinions, and he's like, I think it's funny that people get so fired up over my opinions. It's like, that is true. People are like taking his opinions as like it's gospel, or they get upset about it, one way or another. It's like the fact that we're sitting here arguing, like getting pissed off about it, kind of shows it's like, all right, well, it matters to enough people where they're quoting this crap.
He does get paid to give his opinions about wrestling, though.
Yeah.
So he's opening himself up to criticism. It's not like he's just a random guy who went up to you and said, hey, screw you and your wrestling opinions. Like, they pay him a lot of money to give these stupid-ass opinions.
Yeah, I know. But, yeah, so moving on from the SummerSlam news here, I guess Jeff Hardy is expected to take some time off, as noted by Ticket Drew. But when? Is he going to have a SummerSlam match against Orton, or are they just going to blow that off?
Or he's going to punt him in the head, and he's going to be gone.
We can't do that anymore, pal. Concussions.
Oh, if they can let him do the blackout, then they can let him punt people.
I would say that too, but they told him to quit doing that even before they told Rollins to quit doing the stomp. So I don't know.
Stop calling it a punt, please, because it's not a punch.
Yeah, I know. It's more
kickoff of anything.
Yeah, it's more like a field goal.
The penalty kick.
No, the penalty kick is apparently when some guy's sitting up on their rear end. I don't know. But either way.
Punt is only by Snitsky on Davies.
Oh, my God. In Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. Throw that in there.
Those famous babies.
God. Well, as of the posting of this podcast, this is in retrospect, but I kind of wanted us to talk about, it'd be fun to go back, like, now that Raw's already happened, go back and listen to our predictions here. Stephanie McMahon will be on Raw to make a, quote, a historic announcement. What do you guys think it is? Some people are thinking women's tag titles. Other people are thinking all women's pay-per-view. What do you guys think?
I think it's Hogan, actually.
Really?
I want to be Stephanie, then.
Yeah, I was going to say, they only wheel out Stephanie for the specific women news, which is like, somebody brought up, they're like, they act like Stephanie McMahon invented women's wrestling. Like, it's kind of funny, but...
Right?
They're like, until Stephanie McMahon when Stephanie McMahon made that announcement on Raw that they were just superstars, that's when women's wrestling was born, by God. Like, whatever.
It's going to swerve, bro. It's going to be Baron Corbin is now entered into the main event of the
Universal title match?
Reigns and Roode match.
Oh, my gosh.
Match.
Oh, man.
I was saying the number one contendership for the Universal title match, but yeah.
Or that, too, yeah. He'd be the one taking the pin. But, yeah, so I don't know. I'm thinking it's the tag titles.
I think, to answer your question, though, I think it's really the women's tag titles.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have enough titles, so.
Yeah, let's have more titles, bro.
I'm hoping that if they do have to have more belts for whatever reason, it's going to be co-branded.
Yeah, if they're going to have women's tag titles. Yeah, because I think they should have, like, and if they're going to do the color scheme crap, have, like, either have half the belt red and half blue, or just have, like, one belt, the center part of it blue, and one belt, the center part of it red, just kind of like, just letting you know it's like they're on both brands, pal. Or hell, bring back the penny titles and give them to the women. I don't know. So because there's not enough women.
What do you think? TJ didn't give an answer.
Yeah, I think it's the women's tag titles. Yeah. I don't think it needs. Well, and another big reason I think that is because it seemed like they were like, we're going with this Bayley and Sasha feud. Finally, we're gonna pull the trigger, and then they're like, never mind, we need women's tag titles, so they're gonna be a tag team. It's like Vince did his.
Can we just get the damn match, please?
No, Ramon.
The Iconics. Let's just get it over with. One.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
the Iconics. Yeah. Spoiler right to the end.
Those titles are for Bayley and Sasha, because that's why they're putting them back together so they can be they like that whole feuding partners bull crap, like with Team Hell No. So they're going to do it again, and then they're going to have another facet to their feud so they can finally break up and, they were once tag champions and best friends, and now they're enemies. So they're going to keep adding to it.
Well, no, the tagline's going to be they were the first tag team.
Yeah, there you go. Kudos to anybody, by the way, who remembers that Heath Slater and Rhino were the inaugural SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. Does anybody remember that? No? Just me?
I do. He knew those titles. He had kids, man.
Yeah, he needed that job and them belts. He had kids.
The first WWE Tag Team Champions was not the World Tag titles, but the WWE Tag titles was, Angle and Benoit? So we don't talk about?
Yeah, we don't know.
Angle and Terry Saturn.
Kurt Angle and himself. He was the Tag Team Champions.
Did he do that in TNA?
Well, in TNA, he held literally every title at the same time. So I'm not joking.
Half of them on one night.
Yeah, it was funny. I will say...
Poor bro, he didn't really have any of the titles.
By the way, do you remember that whole controversy with the Something Else to Wrestle With, where they had to post it late for the WWE CW show, and they said it was creative differences? You can tell it was the Benoit thing, because when they get to that match, Conrad just says, Johnny Nitro replaced him, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, replaced who? Like, if you don't know what's going on, you're like, replaced who? So you can tell they cut a chunk out of the show. So
Conrad's dumbass. That's probably what he said his name.
Well, I guarantee they were talking about it because they were told, well, you can say whatever you want, within reason. And then WWE was like, except that. So, I mean, yeah, he should have known better.
That's all you can say, brother.
You can say Hulk Hogan. You can say TNA, but you can't say Chris Benoit. That's a big no-no.
Chris Benoit doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me, brother.
Can I say Pegasus Kid?
No, bro. An independent promotion.
The Wolverine?
Yeah.
The Rabbit Wolverine.
Yeah. Moving on, not commenting on all of that. An independent promotion announced that Chelsea Green, a.k.a. Laurel Van Ness, had to be pulled out of an upcoming appearance, which has led to speculation that she will be in the Mae Young Classic this year, but she hasn't been announced. So, there you go.
But Mia Gibbs has been announced, and I'm super happy.
That actually leads
into
the
Performance Center a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she was. Which leads to my next story here. The Mae Young Classic official lineup as of now is Caitlyn, Casey Catanzaro, Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley, Nicole Matthews, Ginny, Deonna Purrazzo, Tegan Knox, Jessica Alabon, Reina Gonzalez, Kavita Devi, Mia Yim, Mercedes Martinez, Killer Kelly, and Crystal. So if it's
I believe Crystal was just pulled.
Oh, really?
Oh, only she's in.
Oh,
yeah.
I just read earlier today she was in. So did that just happen?
Yeah, it's her name disappeared all of a sudden from the listings.
Huh. Weird.
Like, Toni Storm's not actually officially in the tournament?
No, she's not in the tournament. She's doing the UK promotion. So she's not in this.
Well, I guess why it takes it out because I thought she was in it.
Nah. But yeah, so if Crystal is out, then that makes there 2 open slots if they're doing a 16-woman tournament. So there's room for Chelsea Green and one more. That is, obviously.
I'm going to go with Tegan Knox. Mix the new world.
I don't know who I'm going to go with. I mean...
She has the shiniest wizard, guys.
Yeah. I wonder how far Mercedes will go this time, because she went to, the semifinals last time. So, I don't know. If I had to pick, looking at this list right now, I would say Io Shirai, but that just seems like the obvious, same thing they did last year. So
it seems too obvious.
Yeah. So that's why I hope it... I mean, I'm sure she's good and whatever, but, I don't want it to be her because it's so friggin' obvious but I'm sure she'll go far in the tournament. We'll have to see, but should be good. Another good tournament this year. I liked it last year. Say what?
It's going to be good.
Wow. So yeah, but looks good. Should be an entertaining tournament. Here's some not so good news here. On Dinner with the King, Jerry Lawler said that he heard Howard Finkel is in bad shape and may have suffered a stroke.
No.
Not the Fink, man. I hope he kicks out of it. I don't know. That's bad. But here's some news for you guys. This is kind of UFC/WWE news. Former UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez visited the WWE Performance Center. Ariel Helwani tweeted that he's been told Velasquez enjoyed his time at the Performance Center and is open to, quote, options. I hope those options are putting another scar.
So good in wrestling.
Yeah, I hope those options are putting another scar on Lesnar's face.
Yeah, he's ready to start doing some real competing.
Dude, can you imagine, they're like, oh, the only way Lesnar can get his W back against Velasquez is if we work it, if we work that match, pal. Oh, man.
It is a work, bro.
Good grief. Well,
I saw a couple of pictures. One of his headlocks looked terrible, and the second headlock looked better, but it's just a still photo, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. I don't know. Friggin' Velasquez is a huge dude. You figure, Vince would take one look at him and just, grab his, clutch at his heart and just faint.
He's just so large. What's his sweat level?
Yeah. He's huge, pal. I bet he sweats buckets.
He's huge.
Wow. So, big league. Huge. Here's a spoiler that's been...
the best wrestlers.
Wow.
The number one wrestler in the world.
No,
so big.
No, they're not wrestlers, okay? They are sports entertainers. Get it right. We don't say the double D word.
I mean, they're supposed to entertain sports.
I don't know.
I thought that's what cheerleaders were for.
Yeah. Well, here's another. The story's a spoiler, but it's been all over Kingdom Come. So if you haven't seen it yet, you must not have social media. Tommaso Ciampa has won the NXT title with a little help from his good pal, Johnny Wrestling.
Who saw actually?
I mean, it wasn't on purpose. The video...
Yeah, it was clearly on accident, but yeah.
Yeah. Basically, Tommaso is going to use the title to smack Black in the head with it. Johnny gets in the ring. They start doing tug-of-war. Johnny wins. He yanks the belt back and accidentally smacks Black in the face, and he gets out of the ring, and then Tommaso hits apparently his new finishing move, which is the Angel's Wings. So, yeah, we get a new NXT champion going into Brooklyn. How about that? I like Tommaso.
Johnny Wrestling's going to win in Brooklyn.
Say what?
I mean, I don't think there's any more like pure heel than Tommaso Ciampa right now. It seems like everyone hates him.
Yeah. Oh, I know. He's great. I saw one. He actually posed for a picture with a kid, which was shocking because, recently he hasn't been posing for any pictures. He won't talk to people. He's 100% kayfabing it, which is great to see that kind of old school mentality. But some kid on Twitter posted...
Took that kid's wedding ring off of him and threw it in the crowd.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that was crazy. I wonder if that was a working ring or if that was his real ring.
No, that was his real one. That was legit. That's the one that Candace gave to him. Yes, of course it was a working ring.
Well, I don't know. I don't know, pal. Last story I got from WWE. This is the story that will be interesting to you two since you guys will be there. For the second year in a row, War Games will be taking place at the NXT Los Angeles TakeOver event this November.
Oh, hell yeah. Yes.
So you guys will get...
Do you think they're going to go with the same design without the roof and stuff, or do you think traditional? What do you think, Greg? I think it's too sorry.
Oh, no. Go ahead, Greg.
I think it's going to be brutal.
Well, do you think it's going to be roofless again? I think it will.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, it worked out great, with the rules where it's if you climb out, you forfeit. So, I thought that was cool. It was a nice little added layer to the match.
I'm not complaining about it.
Yeah.
I was just asking.
Yeah, because it was, I don't know. I mean, I like the old War Games matches, but the roof was so low. It's you couldn't backdrop. You couldn't, Sid had a hard time powerbombing people in there. So. And
the crazy spots they did last year is they definitely needed to open the more space. So.
Yeah. I mean, they've confirmed, the only thing they've confirmed is, it's going to be double ring again. So,
It was watched they always tape the next week's NXT during the takeovers.
Yeah.
It was weird to watch the NXT show after and still see the double rings.
Yeah, I know. But I think...
And they try to sell it off we didn't record this before or anything.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well...
We just haven't had 2 weeks for no reason.
Yeah, they're we're still in such and such. It's 4 days later, you're still there. But yeah, the
next ring for no reason.
The 2 rings, I think, adds a fun little added dimension for the rest of the night's matches as well. So I like it, pal. It's I don't know. It's I love the War Games event. Well, Greg, Ramon, tell me this: when you guys were younger, I don't know when Ramon, when you started watching wrestling. Greg, I think you said since the early '90s you've been watching.
Yep.
When did you start?
1999 full time. Before that, I'd play the games, but
wow. I started watching wrestling before you. That's shocking. Yeah,
I watched it, but I didn't watch it religiously.
Right. Well, when you were younger watching wrestling, did you ever think that you'd be able to say, you know what, one of these days I'm going to be able to attend a War Games live?
I thought that was dead and gone after WCW. Yeah.
I know. You better get on your hands and knees and thank Triple H. That's all I'm saying. That's awesome. And I think, wanting to pay tribute to Dusty Rhodes as well. they brought it back, which is cool. I like it. But
I do too.
Yeah. So that's all the WWE news that I got. Did I leave anything out that you guys wanted to touch on? I tried to, leave out predictions for Raw and SmackDown since, by the time this airs, it will be late.
Yeah, I just want to mention that Daniel Bryan hasn't re-signed, and there's a reason why, but stay tuned.
Oh, my
God.
God.
Stay tuned.
Hashtag stay tuned. Mother of God. That needs to be, I'm going to make that a shirt. Hey,
real quick, my prediction, quick prediction about Daniel Bryan. If his contract ends August 31st, I think Bryan Danielson shows up at All In.
Oh, man.
He does that one show, and he immediately signs back to WWE for the night after.
That would be awesome. That'd be awesome. And another thing is, as of now, Rey Mysterio is still All In. I mean, they're still promoting him as being All In, and Rey has apparently publicly said he wants to be at that show, but WWE has been trying to get him locked up so that he cannot attend that show. So we'll see who wins that.
Yeah, him and Sean Mooney, let's put the butts in the seats. The Sean Mooney's going to be there, man.
Is that... Oh, no, who's Sean Mooney? I'm blanking here. I
old school announcer.
Oh.
Todd Tango?
Wow.
I wish.
Right? Yeah, he was my generation's Mean Gene, which is sad, but it's...
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see who wins that. I think Rey can tell them, like, no, hold on until, I do this show. I think Rey has been around long enough where he can have that pull. Other people, maybe not, but Rey Mysterio. My
understanding is that Vince likes when guys honor their commitments. I don't think he would want to just...
Yeah, except for this one.
He's already signed.
From what I heard, he's not fond of this one for some reason. Like, he's really trying to lock people down so they can not work this show, from what I heard. I don't know why he cares that much. It's not like they're competing with him.
And what's he going to do when they book Paul Brown Stadium?
And sell it out.
They're in trouble.
For new listeners, that's another HCW reference. They claim they're going to sell out Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, which I assume, what are we talking, like April to run opposition to WrestleMania? Like,
probably. I mean, we'll outdraw it.
Yeah, well, early April.
The alternative.
For those of you that don't know, early April in Cincinnati is cold. Like, we're talking snow, baby, on the river. So, for many reasons, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Plus the fact that Paul Brown Stadium doesn't sell out for anything, ever. Like,
not even playoffs. True story.
I think you could announce that Elvis had come back to life and is making his return at Paul Brown Stadium, and people would be like, I'll catch him next time. It's, yeah.
I heard there's a whole joke about Cincinnati. He said, if the world ever ends, you want to be in Cincinnati, because it'll be 20 years too late.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Apparently that's Alaska, because they've got a Blockbuster Video up there.
It just closed.
Oh, wow.
2 days ago.
I heard a lot.
There's one left in all of existence, Texas.
That sucks for them up in Alaska, because from what I heard, a lot of people in that town still have dial-up internet. Like, ugh. Try watching Netflix on that.
Netflix and chill, more like Netflix and pull your hair out.
Yeah. More like, it's like, you know what, Netflix is not working for us tonight. Let's just watch the moose graze out in the yard. That's what they do up in Alaska, right? I'm just assuming.
They could go look at Russia, apparently.
Yeah, I can see Russia from my house.
I saw a moose once. The 16-year-old daughter got pregnant.
What the hell?
Oh my God!
All right, let's move on. Let's do the list, bro.
Quickly move on.
Yeah. All right, I guess it's time for my top 10 sequels to wrestling matches. Just to clarify, this could be, the second, third, fourth, fifth encounter of somebody, but it's a sequel. Number 10. I went with one that's near and dear to Greg's heart. I said Triple H versus The Undertaker 3, Hell in a Cell, WrestleMania 28. The end of an era.
Their best match ever.
I thought it definitely had the most drama ever, but I liked all of their matches.
That sweet chin music in the pedigree. I thought the streak was over for sure.
Oh my gosh, I know. I was like, no.
Should have been.
No. Hell no.
Should have been my ass. Forget you, kid.
Like, nothing, in my opinion, that streak should have never been broken, ever. But, whatever. Number 9, Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon, ladder match 2 at SummerSlam 1995. I loved that ladder match, even though they, right before they go out, they're like, by the way, you guys can't use the ladder as a weapon. That was great. But
yeah,
then it kind of goes to show the genius of Triple H when, according to them, Triple H helped them lay the whole thing out. So, there you go. Number 8, John Cena versus The Rock 2 at WrestleMania 29. Twice in a lifetime.
I was there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like how
I was hoping for the same outcome as the first one, but whatever.
I like how they, like, scammed everybody. They're like, once in a lifetime. This will never happen again. We're like, just kidding. It's happening next year. And next year, he'll have a goatee. That would have been funny if both of them grew out a goatee for the match. Just a...
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm John Cena goatee. That's the one where The Rock, like, tore his abdomen, right? Like, first 6 minutes of the match.
He tore his pec, like, right off the pec muscles, right off the bone or whatever. It was, yeah, sick. Number 7, I said the Usos versus the New Day, Hell in a Cell from Hell in a Cell 2017.
Oh, man. That was one of the most brutal Hell in a Cells in the modern era.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought that match was, like, really, like, it was different. It was innovative. They did a lot of different stuff. And was that the very first ever tag team Hell in a Cell we've seen, or am I forgetting one? Oh, well.
No, you're forgetting. DX versus McMahon.
I was about to say, yeah, I forgot about that one where they shoved, was it Vince's head right into Big Show's butt?
Yep. Literally. The thing about the Usos and the New Day, when they did the spot with the kendo sticks and they, like, tied into a bowl.
Oh, man, yeah. Rainbow.
Super innovative. Well, not the bowl. It was the corner of the...
They jammed him in the corner and, like, stuck Xavier right in the corner. I was like, holy crap, that's awesome. Yeah, that whole match owned.
The kendo shots in that match were incredible.
Yeah, they didn't hold back anything. Number 6. Friggin' Dave Meltzer's gonna, like, have a conniption fit about this one. If we have any New Japan fans, they're like, why is it so low on your list? I said Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada 4, the 2 out of 3 falls match from New Japan Pro Wrestling's Dominion 2018. No, that was not the best wrestling sequel ever. It was not a 7-star match. I don't care what anybody says. It was good. I liked it. But no. Just no.
You're wrong, bro.
Yeah,
bro, it was the greatest match ever wrestled, bro.
7 stars per wrestler. It was a 14-star match, bro. Spam the Rainmaker. Spam
Honestly, I don't even think that's their best match of that feud, but
no, it wasn't. I liked it. Well, I kind of threw that one on there because I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember if I liked number 1 or number 3 the best. Their second match, I think, was at Dominion 2017, and I didn't care for that one as much. But number 1 was really good, but I couldn't remember if number 3 was the best or number 4. I didn't have enough time to go back and remember.
Is that the one when like Omega collapses and then like the second one they end in a draw or something?
I think I couldn't remember if 2 or 3 was the draw. I think, yeah, I don't know, because one of them was in the. I think the second one was at Dominion last year, and then the third one was in the G1 last year. Yeah, that was the draw. Was the one in the G1 climax last year, because they both got points for it, or a point for it.
Oh, the climax. Oh, sweaty climax.
Course. Good Lord. Number 5, I said John Cena versus AJ Styles, Royal Rumble 2017. That was a great match. All of their matches were great, but I couldn't decide.
That was a very good match.
Yeah.
Number 16 for old Big Match John.
Yeah. Number 4, I said Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa 2, the street fight from NXT TakeOver Chicago. I mean, if you're counting the Cruiserweight Classic, then I guess New Orleans was number 2, but I don't count that one, and doesn't seem like anybody else does either, so I'm counting this as their sequel.
Only one of the great NXT matches ever.
Say what?
only one of the greatest NXT matches ever.
Yeah, both of their matches were just like freaking amazing. This was, I don't know, like, I love this match. It could have ended multiple ways, but the way it ended was fantastic. So I loved it, and I love those two guys. Number 3.
Oh, fight forever.
Yeah. Number 3, I said Stone Cold versus The Rock 3 from WrestleMania 19. I didn't.
That was great. It wasn't their best match ever, but it was great.
I didn't go with 17 just because of all the shenanigans that went on, towards the end of the match. But this one...
Thank you, TJ.
Yeah. I mean, it was a great match.
Idiots think alike, whatever.
Wow. All 3 of them I thought were fantastic matches, but I didn't... All the shenanigan bullcrap just kind of like... It didn't ruin the match for me. It was an amazing match, but it was just kind of like, eh.
I don't think 15 gets the respect it deserves.
No, I thought 15 was great. The only reason
everyone just kind of throws that away. It's either 17 or 19.
The only reason I didn't say, because it had to be a sequel, so that's why I didn't put 15. So
no, I'm not saying that. I just like whenever anyone talks about that trilogy, no one ever mentions the first one at 15.
Yeah, and I mean 17. I think 15 was probably the best because that's when The Rock was coming up to be the number 2 guy, and Stone Cold was just he just solidified himself a year before that as the guy. So I think 15 was fantastic. Number 2, I said Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels 2, career versus streak from WrestleMania 26. That
was okay. Interesting.
That was their first match was better, but the second match was still, I think, one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time. So, I mean, it's hard to recreate what they did at 25, but they came close, in my opinion. And then number 1, I said Ric Flair versus Ricky Steamboat 3 from Wrestle War Music City Showdown.
Yeah, I was going through a lot of the Flair and Steamboats, but to not confuse myself, I didn't end up putting them on my list, but I did go through those in my head though.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably the greatest trilogy in history, in my opinion. Flair and Steamboat is that's great. Whenever somebody, because the thing is, nobody's in the future. Yeah, everybody's talking about, oh man, Okada and Omega, blah blah blah, and yeah, it's great, whatever. But nobody, in my opinion, in the future, people are still gonna see a series and be like, oh, this is the next incarnation of Flair and Steamboat. They're not gonna say it's the next incarnation of Omega and Okada. They're not gonna say that. So
now, if you're gonna watch tape on becoming a wrestler, then you should pop in Flair and Steamboat. Any of them, really. Yeah,
freaking the cardio on those guys was just holy hell. That was crazy. Was Wrestle War the one where Flair had like the friggin' harem of ladies, and then Steamboat had his kid and his wife coming out on a horse?
I think so. That was the one where Terry Funk turned on at the end too.
Oh yeah, they had a great match too. See, that's an overlooked Flair feud. Not to get off of a sidebar here, but that's an overlooked Flair feud. Is him and Funk. They had a great feud back in WCW. I hated the way Flair took a pile driver though, like he was doing a handstand. You ever notice that?
Well, he did have a broken back, so he's probably a little worried about it. He dropped on his head.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was just like, man, you take that ugliest pile driver. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna. That's my list, bro. When we come back, we're gonna go over news from elsewhere, and then one of y'all is going to give your top 10 list. We're going to take a break to let you know about...
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. We're going to take a break to let you know about another great podcast here on the Drama City Productions Podcast Network. We'll be right back.
Small Town Mentality Podcast with your host, Ben. A podcast about nothing and everything. A podcast where we get together with friends, drink beer, and see where the conversation takes us. We don't edit. We don't care what people say. It's small town people with a small town mentality. It gets offensive at times, lots of swearing, and a whole lot of not caring. Available everywhere you get podcasts. You can find us on Twitter at STMPod, on Instagram at STMPodcast, and on Facebook at Small Town Mentality Pod. We'll see you there.
And we are back, bros. And we've got some news from wrestling organizations outside of WWE. Let's start with...
There's other wrestling organizations?
I know. Well, there's one, according to one Uncle Dave and his Star Factory.
I thought it was just Uncle Vinny's Funhouse, and that was about it.
Well,
there'll be another one coming soon.
Yeah, it's
based in Florida.
Yeah, it's going to be based in Florida, but they're going to do most of their big shows in Southwest Ohio. So like a Dayton with Destiny. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was the name of a show that this idiot for the aforementioned HCW. Yeah. Yeah, Rubble in the Jungle will take place in Cincinnati's Paul Brown Stadium, and a Dayton with Destiny will take place at the Irvin J. Nutter Center up in Dayton. That's
I think you just made those up.
Yeah. Yeah, and when Greg tried to inform said Mark guy that I think Rumble
Mark
in the
guy. That's his name. His name is Mark.
Yeah, the Mark that he was like, I think Rumble in the Jungle is trademarked, and he's like, well, we have the best lawyers, so we'll get around that because we
have the best lawyers. Our lawyers are big league.
Yeah, big league lawyers. They're the best. They're the greatest. Michael Cohen has nothing on these lawyers. They're the best. Big league lawyers. Huge. My gosh.
Huge.
And yeah, and then you were like, yeah, because you can. I don't think there's a way to circumvent trademark laws, good lawyer or not. And I think his response was, except we can. Because that just ends the conversation right there. Except we can. Boom, I win.
Oh well then.
Oh well, I give up.
Not.
Yeah, except it's not. Oh man. Let's start with speaking of Uncle Vinny's Funhouse or Uncle Dave's Funhouse, whatever. There is this is the epitome of that. It's Impact Wrestling.
Yay!
Oh yeah, where dreams are made.
I'm gonna go to sleep. Good night, guys.
Wow. This is where dreams go to be made.
You are a factory of sadness.
All right, this is like the dream factory here of Impact Wrestling in Toronto. I forgot to mention this. Apparently, Slammiversary is sold out. So congratulations to all 500 people who were able to buy tickets.
It's a bingo hall. Airing from.
Yeah, well, it's
Canadian bingo hall, bro.
It's mostly sold out because you're going to be hearing B5 yelled from the other side of the venue. So the old ladies are going to pop their head around this.
Never mind.
The old ladies are going to pop their head around.
Are they going to go with the entire line of this is our 16th anniversary? People say we want to last 16 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Same crap they say every single year.
Yeah, and they're going to have their phony induction ceremony into their phony Hall of Fame, and yeah, I don't even know who the hell it is this year.
Who is it? Oh, okay.
I don't know. They do it every year, so I'm assuming.
Cowboy.
I really hope Don Callis put an end to that. He was like, look, this is stupid. There is no Hall of Fame. Just like, let's end the ruse. But, yeah.
Which former WWE guy can we put in this time?
Right? Yeah, because so far they got Gail Kim, Kurt Angle, I think, the Dudleys, the Jeff Jarrett. Like, good grief. I wonder if they're going to try to do a trade for AJ Styles.
3D, brother?
Yeah, Team 3D. Did you ever hear that they were going to go? They were going to call themselves the Deadly Boys, but then it leaked online, and Bubba was like all butthurt about it, and he's like, "Screw it, we're not going with that name anymore."
We're going to go with the Bully Boys.
That would have been awesome. Oh, man. That would have been up there with Cojones. You remember when Balls Mahoney showed up?
God.
And he was Cojones? And the crowd booed. And he, shrugged, whatever. Anyway, former Knockouts champion Sienna, a.k.a. Allison Kay, is done with Impact. According to Squared Circle Sirens, Her contract expired while she was out injured, and she did not re-sign. No. Hey, maybe she'll be the next entry into the Mae Young Classic.
My heart is broken.
Don't you like Sienna?
I'm not going to lie. I have no idea what the hell we're talking about.
Sienna was the one that tried to do some crap Twitter feud with Charlotte because Sienna comes out to the ring with like some...
Oh, yeah.
She's got like some feather thing that she wears.
I remember her from that.
Yeah. Well, for those of you that don't know who she is, she wears some like feather thing over her shoulders when she comes out, and she claimed that Charlotte was ripping her off with doing that with her robes, even though Charlotte's father had done that for like decades before Sienna was even thought of.
And she said she like ripped off her eyeshadow or some crap too.
Oh, no, she said she ripped off the pinky thing because they do the tea time pinky whatever, and Sienna always puts her pinky up. I'm like, oh my gosh, like you're just like grasping at straws here, trying to make yourself relevant. Whatever.
I invented women's wrestling.
Yeah. No, that's Stephanie McMahon. We covered this. But anyway, yeah, so, yeah, she's gone from Impact. Like I said, there's 2 open spots in the Mae Young Classic. I never thought she was that impressive of a wrestler, but, I mean, whatever. Then again, I don't know. She might be heading down south to Florida. You know, we don't know.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. You think you're gonna get a text, Greg? Oh, you hear Sienna's done with Impact Wrestling? Well, people think she's going to WWE, but hashtag stay tuned.
I don't think that at all, actually.
Yeah. I don't know. That's where the hell else is she gonna go? Like if she doesn't re-sign with Impact, I assume she had somewhere else. I mean, maybe she's going to do the Women of Honor. That's also a possibility. There's limited places for a female to work if you don't want to go to Japan. So, I don't know. Whatever.
Shimmer, maybe?
Yeah, because I'm sure they're shelling out the dollar bills. What are
they pay the bill, that's for sure.
Well, you want to talk about drawing at a bingo hall. Like, I think Impact could outdraw Shimmer, which isn't saying much, but, you know, it's just saying. Didn't you guys attend a Shimmer show a couple of years ago before Mania?
Yeah, that was really good.
How many people were there, like ballparking
half of the women from the Mae Young Classic were on it. I'll
Nice.
say not a lot of people were there, but when the ones that showed up were local.
Yeah, see, there you go. And I'm not crapping on Shimmer because they get most of their talent poached, but I'm just saying. All right, moving on to news from elsewhere besides Impact, because that's the only story I had from Impact. Masa Saito, also known as Mr. Saito, passed away this past week after a long battle with Parkinson's disease. So I don't know if you guys know who that is.
It's always sad.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know who it was.
He
felt bad about that.
Years ago, he was in a tag team with, it was Mr. Saito and Mr. Fuji were a tag team, like back in the territory days. So, yeah, there you go. But apparently he was good friends with Eric Bischoff. So, there you go. But, yeah. Let's, well, I'll save this story I've been teasing for the end here. One more story out of Japan. Do you guys remember Hamada from TNA?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, her real name is Ayako Hamada. She has been placed under probation following her arrest for possession of methamphetamines. Hamada announced that she is officially retiring from pro wrestling due to the situation. Man. She actually said that she's going to try to, because she's fluent in Spanish and Japanese, so she said she's going to try to pursue work as an interpreter. Like, of all the stories that I thought would pop up about Hamada, though, it's like she's on meth. I don't know. Whatever.
That's what she did with the millions that Dixie Carter gave her, huh?
Yeah, millions. Millions of pennies that Dixie Carter paid her. But, yeah, so that was, that's kind of a crappy story. But here's a story I've been teasing that you guys might actually get some interest out of. Dave Meltzer said on
I'm so excited.
Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio that Jeff Cobb has officially signed with Ring of Honor.
Yeah. Oh my God! That means he is going to lose the spot too.
Yep.
Damn it!
Spoiler.
Oh, I'm pissed.
You're pissed. What do you mean? I thought you wanted Fatu to win.
Fatu should have won. Well, yeah, we're going to miss it. It's going to be a SummerSlam weekend.
Yeah,
that's what. Announced that's the main event. And he lost his last title to Kratos. Man.
So there you go.
We're waiting for this payoff. Yeah, he's waiting for this payoff, and it's finally going to happen, and we're not going to be in the seat.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The payoff is he's leaving the territory. There you go.
It's going to be I'm telling you, it's going to be a great weekend for that family.
Well, we will.
Yeah, so he's going to lose to Cobb, and then Uncle Roman's going to lose and get cashed in on, and then Nia Jackson. Why would he get cashed in on if he lost? I don't understand that. No, he loses to Braun after he does win the title, and he loses it. And then no one even remembers these guys are tag team anymore, so there you go. That's a great weekend.
It would be funny if Jeff Cobb wins just to swerve everybody.
Back to Cobb, it's good for Ring of Honor, good for him. And then anything Ring of Honor can do to bolster their rosters is also good news.
Yeah, well, after we saw him pop up at the G1 special, I mean, I thought maybe that was just, he's a local guy, whatever. And I mean, he does have, some name values in the indies right now, but I didn't think much of it.
I was talking to Doom, and he told me he knew all about him for years.
Really?
He's an Olympic athlete.
For those of you that don't know, he's talking about a guy that I used to talk to, and apparently you still do. Does out in the Brooklyn area, bro. He's one of them Brooklyn bros. But yeah, so so Jeff Cobb is hitting the big time. Maybe he'll if he goes to Ring of Honor, he'll probably do some shots in Japan as well. So there you go. He's moving on up to the east side.
The athletes. So it's also Mr. Athletic.
Yeah, so we'll be seeing a lot more of Jeff Cobb on the big scene.
As big as it can be, I guess.
Well,
suplex party.
What the hell?
That's what he does.
Nice. Well, he can have a suplex party, then the Bucks can have a super kick party, and then Brian Zane can take people to Dick Kick City.
Drop top titty tipping time.
The hell?
Joey Ryan's gonna give people dick plex.
Oh my gosh, no. It's not. Bring him up. Ever. I'd rather hear about Naked Midian, and I don't want to hear about Naked Midian.
Dude, hey, next time we get together, it's going to be all Joey Ryan because he's going to be live here in the Bay Area at Big Time Wrestling. Yep.
Oh yay!
Him and Simon Graham, man, the asses are in the seats for that.
Oh, wow.
Greg and I are going to give home pops and we'll be out there.
Good Lord. You're going to pull it out of your crotch and put it in your friend's mouth?
And for that night only, sleeves will be legalized.
Before we, that's all the news I have from outside of WWE right now. The one, well, there are a couple things I wanted to touch on. One of them's WWE related, that I forgot in the WWE news, but we'll cover it here since there's not a whole lot of news from elsewhere. First thing, Greg, you just saw the Fire Pro Wrestling. I can't remember the name, like the full name of the game, but yeah, the new Fire Pro Wrestling.
I have it right here.
Okay, what is it?
Yeah, hold on, I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay,
but yeah,
Fire Pro Wrestling World, isn't it?
Yeah, World. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like they merged with Japan, so.
Yeah, well,
merge it with Japan.
Yeah, because it was always for those of you that don't know the Fire Pro Wrestling franchise. It's a game based in a wrestling game made in Japan, kind of ported over to America, but they've never really they don't have rights to any names of real wrestlers. So they always have like guys you can tell who the hell they are. They have the same move set, the same exact look, bro, and everything else.
Bro.
But they changed the names so that they don't get sued. But this year they're doing that, and since they now have an agreement with New Japan Pro Wrestling, they actually have the real names of a lot of the New Japan guys in their game. It's incredibly customizable. I mean, it's kind of fun in a way. It's more strategy than button mashing and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's really, some people, that's their flavor. Other people might find it boring or whatever. The graphics are awful. That's the one thing. It looks like an 8-bit kind of deal, but like a Super Nintendo game or something. But there are a bunch of different match types and stuff like that. But it's, I don't know, the gameplay is so. And you were talking about the price tag that they just announced, right?
Yeah, $45.
Yeah. So, hooray! By the way, it is not on Xbox. For all of you out there that do play the Xbox, it is only on PlayStation as far as platforms go. So there you go.
This is why the PlayStation is better, bros.
Whoa! No, according to a certain somebody that we know that works at he's Mr. GameStop.
Here it comes.
He and his store are personally helping the Xbox One outsell PlayStation. So if he says it, it is.
He brings Xbox buyers to tears.
Exactly, because he changed their life. Yeah, he changed their life. It is. I wish I was making this crap up, by the way. For those of you out there that wish to play Fire Pro Wrestling, it released for Microsoft Windows back December 18th of last year, and it is releasing for the PlayStation 4 on August 28th of this year.
By the way, it's actually $50, but if you pre-order it now, you get $5 off. So yeah.
Oh well, and no, there is no downloadable content and stuff. So what you get is what you get. So there's no extra add-on and blah blah blah. But it's like, for those of you that
screw off, you ain't getting my money.
I'm definitely buying it, but I'm gonna probably buy it, closer to Christmas, hoping that the price drops by that time. So I'll buy.
Oh, no one buys it. Yeah, it's gonna drop quickly.
Yeah. So we'll see. They have all the
New Japan marks. They're gonna buy it first day.
Oh well, yeah.
They're gonna raise the price of anything.
Well, they have it. For instance, you can play so many different kinds of different matches. Like they have death matches, steel cage matches, barbed wire, landmine matches, MMA rules, stuff like that. So and if you love creating things, this is your game, because it's very. Not that WWE is not, because WWE's drastically stepped up their creation game. It's amazing. You can basically make a brand new game in the WWE franchise. So that's something. But yeah, so for those of you that are looking for an alternative, want some other wrestling game besides WWE, I'm buying both. So I'll have both options. And for the first time ever, since the next gen systems have come out since PlayStation, because I had PlayStation 2, I didn't have an Xbox, but I did buy 360, and I've been all Xbox since then. But for the first time for a long time, I'm buying WWE for PlayStation 4. So this is a big deal for me, because I've never I don't know how I'll be used to it on PlayStation, but it seems like all the best creators.
You sold out.
Well, it seems like a lot of the best creations on Community Creations have been coming out on PlayStation the last few years. They have. Yeah. So, I don't know. But yeah, there's that. But last thing I wanted to touch on real quick before we move on to the list, bro, is San Diego Comic-Con is happening, and Ringside Collectibles and WWE have revealed some brand new figures for those of you collectors out there or children at heart. Greg and I were very excited about this. I believe Ramon is as well. We get to pick out some. We get to pick out some of our adult toys.
So yeah, he's definitely in on this.
Yeah.
I'll get that first.
Yeah, you're gonna be first in line to pick up your new adult toy. So that's it's happening. But the toys I'm most excited about are the 3-pack of the Undisputed Era. I am super excited for that one. Not that there aren't other great ones, but
I thought you were most excited about the removable hands.
Oh my gosh, that looks so annoying. Like, that's the one thing if I didn't like. I was like, you get 2 sets of hands now? Like, just more crap for me to lose.
You used to get weapons, now you get extra hands.
Right, yeah.
Get these hands.
Dude, it would be hilarious.
Extra hands.
It'd be hilarious if Braun Strowman's figure came with like 3 or 4 sets of hands, and he's like, "Get these hands." Oh, but yeah, I don't know.
There's like so many on here I want.
Yeah,
man, like that Undisputed Era pack, the three pack of the Shield reunion, the Elite Authors of Pain, the 1998 DX.
Yep.
Oh man,
the old school Dusty
Drew
Rhodes.
McIntyre, Aleister Black.
Yeah, Aleister Black.
Elite Almas.
There are 2. Oh
Holy
yeah,
crap.
There are 2 versions of Ruby Riott I saw. One with short hair, one with long hair, like Riot Squad and non-Riot Squad. So that looks cool for all of you out there that collect. And the new Asuka looks awesome. She's got like 2 masks and her headdress thing. And they've got the
Real quick though, why does Paul Bearer come with the WWF title?
I didn't even notice that. Maybe that's when he was managing WWF champion Undertaker? I don't know. That's
for what, a day?
Yeah. Well, hey, they've put weirder titles with weirder people, man. Come on.
It wasn't in 5 days.
Something like that.
No, it was like 2 days, actually.
Yeah, because didn't he lose it like on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost it. He won it like Sunday, and then he lost it Tuesday in Texas, didn't he? Or am I getting my timeline mixed up?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. And then, what was the other one? The oddest one was Pat Patterson. And he comes with 2 heads.
Yeah, that was hell out of left field.
Yeah, we get a Pat Patterson figure, and like I said, he comes with 2 heads. Not 2 sets of hands, 2 heads. And that Bobby Lashley figure looks cool. My only question is, does he come with 2 heads? One with and one without the sweatband? Or are they
one
just...
with eyebrows, one without eyebrows?
Yeah. Yeah, I even said something to my buddy when we were watching Raw. I was like, dude, it looks like Lashley shaves his eyebrows. He's like, yeah, it does.
It looks like he shaved them off and they regretted it and then like trying to draw them back on.
Yeah, it was. Ugh. But yeah, for any of you collectors out there, or like I said, just children at heart, they got some good options out there. Some great reveals. Definitely, you can go to the Ringside Collectibles Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or whatever the hell you use, or all 3. You know, they've got them all on there. And a new classic Sting, too. Did you notice that one?
Yeah, I want that entrance grade Elias, I want entrance grade Goldberg.
Oh, yeah. And Goldberg is in his
and
black.
And, of course, Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, that one's cool. The Goldberg is the WCW version in his black trunks, and he comes with the big gold belt.
I'm going to waste so much money this year.
On toys alone. Hey, for once, you're not spending it on women. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Anyway, anything else you guys wanted to touch on before we get to the list, bro?
No, I touched on enough for adult toys. We're good.
Wow. Okay. Moving away from that comment as quickly as humanly possible. Which one of you bros is going to do the list first?
In the words of Brother Ramon, in sync, it's going to be me.
Nice. Wow.
That's got to be a first.
That's yeah. Let's never make an. Were you inspired by Team Hell No, like to make an NSYNC reference?
Yep. Yes, I linked it back to wrestling. Yes, of course. That's what that was for.
Exactly. Yeah. So all right.
It really wasn't.
Let's hear your top 10 sequels to wrestling matches, bro.
I'm so excited to do this, bro. This is my first list. I'm going to list all over myself.
Wow. Do you even list, bro? Well, I figured we'd start you off here on the reboot of reboot of the podcast Wrestling Society. So, yeah.
We had a reboot. We had a tournament, bro, and Ramon came in second.
Everybody loses it. They get stripped of the titles, bro, and we have tournaments. But all right, go ahead.
The list on the pole match, bro. We're gonna light the list on fire.
And then it's gone forever. He's dead. He can't come back, bro. Except for next week. He'll be here.
Okay, the top of my list, number 10, is John Cena versus CM Punk. I believe the third one from Raw. Raw, February 25th, 2013.
Yeah.
And of course, I said that's the one Punk lost.
That's the forgotten one that was actually a really good Raw match. Everybody talks about, I mean, rightfully so, their Money in the Bank match, and they had I don't know how many friggin' encounters after that, but their Raw match was really good.
And then there was a SummerSlam match, and then we tried to cash in Money in the Bank. So it's not like the 4th or 5th or whatever.
Yeah.
Number 9, I had another Cena match, the rematch for WrestleMania 23 against Shawn Michaels on Raw, April 23rd, 2007. It was like 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Almost the entire second hour. If I remember, it's because, Edge couldn't go to London or something. It was supposed to be, 2 matches, but Michaels and Cena go on for almost an hour.
Man, if you need somebody to go almost an hour for you, call an HBK.
And apparently, there's kind of a theme to my list.
Yeah, all Cena, we got it, yeah.
They all Cena, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're like, we need somebody to go to go an hour on TV. Ric Flair just starts getting naked. I'll do it. Woo!
Against his jacket.
Yeah, they're like, put the clothes back on, Rick. We're sending out Michaels. He's like, I'm God. I'm
Number
God.
8.
Fire me.
Elbow drop. Ooh, elbow drop.
What the hell? Hold. Woo, man. Woo, ass. Woo. Sorry, go ahead.
Number 8, I have The Undertaker versus Kurt Angle. I think this is second of this feud, at least, not overall, from SmackDown, March 3rd, 2006. The rematch from No Way Out, 2003. Now, this match does end in a disqualification for Mark Henry's interference. But that does lead to Taker and Henry at WrestleMania.
That was
that classic, yeah.
Was that the time Edge cashed in, or was it Edge?
That was later on.
Okay, all right.
This is after No Way Out. I think Kurt Angle's the world champion and faces the Undertaker on SmackDown.
Oh, okay.
After facing No Way Out 2003.
I remember that feud because wasn't that when when Kurt Angle had a match at the Royal Rumble and then Undertaker rode out on a chariot and had lightning destroy the ring, and that kind of kickstarted their feud.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was one of the first times in a long time the Rumble wasn't the main event, and then it made sense on why it wasn't the main event.
Yeah, because he destroyed the freaking ring.
Yeah. I think the next one on my list is the first time that I think the rematch was better than the first match, and it's debatable, but I got Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect from King of the Ring 93, the rematch from SummerSlam 91.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to debate that. Perfect's injured in that first match at SummerSlam, so I think the King of the Ring that people don't really talk about is actually the better match.
Those two,
10 times better, in my opinion.
Was that the one?
Yeah, but no one ever talks about that one. They only talk about SummerSlam.
Was that the one Bret was wrestling with the kayfabe hurt or broken hand, whatever, and he beats Perfect with a roll up out of nowhere?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I remember that one. Those two never had a bad match against each other, but yeah. My
next one on my list is it's actually the third match between these acts, I guess you can say, but it's the second in this series, and it's another one when the second match is better, and it's TLC 2 for WrestleMania 17.
Oh, man.
The Hardys, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian.
Man, why didn't I even think about that? You're right, yeah, but, man, that one didn't even cross my mind.
The ladder match at 16. And then the first first TLC was SummerSlam.
Yeah. Yep.
And then TLC 2 WrestleMania 17.
I didn't even think about that one, but yeah, that's totally. Yeah, Greg and I were talking about that before.
The match is actually surprisingly kind of short. But there's just so many moments in that it seems like it's longer than it really is.
Yeah, I know. Oh, real quick, the backtrack just a little bit. What would have been funny is if you had the Bret and Mr. Perfect match as your fourth, then it could have been 4 out of 10.
That would have been perfect.
Oh man! All right, but
number 5 on my list, I have another Kurt Angle match. This time on SmackDown, September 18th, 2003, against Brock Lesnar in the Iron Man match.
Oh man, yeah.
when Brock wins, Fire falls on the floor when he like beats the crap out of him with the chair. Kind of similar to what happened in Extreme Rules, but gives him a fall just to beat the crap out of him.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't abuse that in Iron Man matches, which I like. They pull it out every once in a while. I know, giggity, I said pull it out, but anyway, they pull it out they pull it out every once in a while to, and it feels special. They don't abuse the hell out of it. So, yeah, I always like when it happens, so it makes sense.
You just said it was special when they pull out and they abuse it. That's all I heard. Anyway,
what the hell? I actually used to do that. They use that same strategy in video games too. Like, I'd be like, screw it. Like, if I was down in the count. Wow. If I was like down in the count, I'd pull out a chair and I'd be like, screw this. And I'd just beat the hell out of whoever I was facing. And I just
knocked the referee out and then do it.
Just like Irish whipped the referee hard into the ring post and he stays out for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, because he's made of glass.
He explodes. Number 4. I have another Shawn Michaels match. This one's from No Mercy 2008 against Y2J in the ladder match, the rematch from Unforgiven, the unsanctioned match.
Oh, yeah.
And Jericho wins the world title later in the night, and then those two face off for the world title in the ladder match.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jericho loses a tooth, and they're all busted up.
Who? Jeez. Those two just, beat the hell out of each other.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Shawn
had an amazing song for the build-up. It was just amazing all around.
That whole feud is amazing. Jericho punches Michaels' wife, in real life, on accident.
Yeah, because Shawn was actually talking to him on, a podcast. He was like, I've wrestled you enough to know that when you say, don't worry, I'll be careful, I should worry. That's why he said he was mad, but not...
A little snug.
Yeah, because he said he was upset, but not surprised when he accidentally socked his wife.
Stupid Canadians.
Wow.
Yeah, Jericho doesn't want to throw a punch back in.
It was a joke. That's what Jericho said about himself. He goes, some people call me a stupid Canadian.
I'm from Winnipeg, you idiot.
That's a thing. It's words, not mine.
At least Shawn Michaels didn't call him a fat piece of crap and tell him to move in the middle of the match.
Just that should be out of my league. My top 3 are all WrestleMania matches.
All right.
Number 3 is going to be a rematch from Survivor Series 96, a submission match between Austin and Brett from WrestleMania 13.
Oh, yeah. That was actually one of my honorable mentions.
I don't think, people, I always think they tend to forget that was actually a rematch from, the year before.
Yeah. Yeah, that was...
of course, it's such an iconic moment of Austin. Greg, the blood from the stone, or what is it? Yeah, the blood stone on that shirt. Yeah, blood down the sleeve.
Yeah.
Number 2 is actually 2A and 2B. I have a personal favorite, but I went with both of them. Austin and Rock 2 and 3 from WrestleMania 17 and 19. I'm biased towards WrestleMania 19's match because that was my first WrestleMania I attended. So, and I'm a huge Rock fan. Rock's my favorite wrestler of all time. So Rock finally got it. Plus, Act 1 and Act 2, they don't matter. The only one that matters, everyone remembers, is Act 3.
Well, so wait a minute. Forget about Rock, Austin, whatever. You got to see The Undertaker take on A-Train and Big Show, man. How awesome was that?
Yeah, because of video.
Yeah, he's got that and the Big Show a match under his belt, man. He's lucky.
Man, you just have good luck with the Big Show, bro.
Originals versus the new 3.
Let's not forget about Kane and Khali, man. You got some classics, dude.
Oh man, man, that's right up there with Greg being at House of Horrors, man.
I was there too. You know what's the worst part about the House of Horrors? In the Shark Tank, that Titantron, that side of it while I was on, is cracked. So you couldn't even see the entire match because it was a big ass piece just blacked out in the middle of the screen.
I'm sorry, so that was a bad thing?
I was going to say, lucky you.
So it made it even worse.
Yeah, lucky you. I had to watch the whole damn thing. I was watching at home. Oh,
I put my mother out of bed. You think, how do you think I feel?
Oh, you should be ashamed. You're a terrible son for that.
And
Roman lost.
Number one on my list,
bro.
Is actually not better than the bro. See, this is my first time. I forgot the lingo, bros. Anyway, number one on my list is not better than the original, but it's such a great match that it's got to be number one, and that's Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker from WrestleMania 26.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you had it one, I had it two. Yeah. Close enough, bro. But yeah, so there you go. Another awesome list. We have 2 down, 1 more to go, bros. When we come back from our break here, we are going to cover all news from the MMA world, which I'm sure you two will have more to say about than I will, because you actually watch the stuff. I follow some of the news, but that's about it.
You're just an avid fan. Yeah, we get it.
Wow.
Avid fan.
Another inside joke. Yeah, this first story should definitely interest Greg especially. So we'll leave it at that. And then after the MMA news...
My homie, isn't it?
What?
Thanks.
When we come back, we'll cover MMA news, and then we will end with Greg's list, bro, and then let you know about what's coming up next week. We'll be right back.
Drama City Productions presents.
Hey, it's Ben here, host of the Regular Stories podcast, a podcast where I interview interesting people about their lives. These are not celebrities, they're not the elite. These are regular people, and these are their stories. You can follow us on Facebook at Regular Stories and on Instagram at Regular Stories. We are everywhere that you can get a podcast. We are on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, just about everywhere else. Look up Regular Stories Podcast.
And we are back to talk all things from the MMA world, mostly UFC, but, you know, we have one story from where MMA lives, Bellator MMA. Should we open with the Bellator news? Because it's huge. Huge. Big league Bellator. We're going to build a wall around the Bellator cage, make UFC pay for it. The Fertitas will pay for it. Exactly. A walled cage match, bro. It's brilliant.
It's like a cage, and then you put a wall on top of it, bro. And you have to climb over the cage and then over the wall.
And then there's going to be dogs, like rabid dogs, like all around between the wall and the cage. So it's like a dog kennel from hell match, bro. And then on top of the wall, it's on fire, bro. And then
on top of that wall is another cage.
And on top of that cage, and hanging from the top of that cage, bro, is one of the fighters' moms, bro. It's huge. It's going to be a mom on a cage, on a wall, dog kennel from hell match, bro. Inferno match, or Human Torch match, bro.
The only way to win is to climb up and send your mom on fire.
Oh my gosh, we're stupid. But somehow I can see Russo pitching all of this.
Yeah, right?
It's not that far off. All right, just to get the Bellator news out of the way real quick. Fedor Emelianenko will take on Chael Sonnen in the Bellator Grand Prix semifinal on October 13th.
In 2018.
Happy Halloween!
In Long Island, by the way.
Oh, bro, in Long Island, bro? Where all the bros will be front row, bro? I wonder if the Long Island Ice Z will be there.
Bro.
Oh, man. Yeah.
The Long Island Ice Z and his dad, who is clearly also a bro. Like, for all of you who have not had the pleasure of seeing Zack Ryder's father, he might be a bigger bro than Zack is.
Debatable, yeah.
Yeah, he's up there. All right, this is a story I was talking about.
That's going to be a fun fight.
Yeah.
It's going to be a freak show fight, but it's going to be fun.
Man, see these two old men just swinging at each other.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, man. This is a story I was talking about will probably interest Greg most of all. Ramon, I don't know how much.
That was it.
Big no. That
Why don't you shut the hell up?
That story didn't interest anybody. Yeah, so this I don't know how much of a big fan of this guy you are, Ramon, but former UFC middleweight champion Anderson Silva has accepted a 1-year suspension from USADA, retroactively beginning last November of 2017, after the drug testing organization found that the supplements Silva received from a Brazilian pharmacy were tainted. According to an USADA press release, Silva will be eligible to return as early as November 10th, and in a statement to Ariel Helwani via his team, Anderson says he intends to keep fighting.
He can also get signed off and come back early. So I'm ecstatic because I'm hoping maybe he gets signed off and faces Gustafsson in 2 weeks. I would lose it.
Yeah.
There's no way that's going to happen, but I would lose Anderson back would be awesome because
you need that belt back, bro.
Yeah, well,
how many defenses in a row did he have?
11.
Oh, that's all right.
No one's ever going to do that again. Well,
we'll see if he's still got it, bro.
Demetrius Johnson did it, but he faced nothing but little guys, so it don't matter.
One of them's the GOAT, the other one's Anderson Silva.
Mother of God. But yeah, we'll see if he's still got it. This is a proving ground. The last one didn't really count because he took the fight on short notice. So.
Yeah, 2 days.
Yeah,
that wasn't fair.
Yeah, that's crazy. Volkan Ozdemir. Is that how you say it? Ozdemir?
Yeah, Ozdemir.
Yeah, the Star Trek guy, Volkan Ozdemir, is out of his UFC 227 fight against Alexander Gustafsson with a broken nose.
Of course he is. I was looking forward to that fight. We're going to be there, and it's not going to happen. Why wouldn't it happen?
They said they are searching.
You know why, right?
Because you're going. Wow.
Because you didn't believe. I was going to say because Blinky, that's why.
Well, they said they are currently searching for a replacement for Mr. Star Trek Vulcan guy. So, there you go.
Yeah.
Speaking of Alexander Gustafsson, he says he is willing to move up to heavyweight to fight Daniel Cormier.
That'd be fun.
Everyone's trying to call Cormier out like he's just some pushover.
Yeah, as soon as he wins, I haven't seen people call out a champion this much since, like, Connor. Like, this is crazy. Like, he won the belt, like, a couple weeks ago, and he's already had, like, 3 or 4 people saying, like, yeah, I'll take you on. Well, bro down, bro.
They're trying to get themselves over, bro.
Hey, sit down and quit trying to get yourself over. In the words of Justin Roberts, the immortal one, who, by the way, is #AllIn.
Justin Roberts is crap.
He's not great.
Average announcer at best.
He was okay. I didn't mind him, but I just laughed that, like, there was that story about when TJ Perkins was, like, enhancement talent and he front flipped over the top rope and he was, and of all people, Justin Roberts was like, hey, sit down and quit trying to get yourself over. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, because if there's one person you want to heed... Yeah, it's like if there's one person you want to heed the warning of, it's Justin Roberts.
He's the agent on the match.
Yeah.
The Justin Roberts.
Exactly. Alexa Grasso suffered a knee injury that forced her out of a high-profile fight with former Invicta FC champion Angela Hill this week. The fight was supposed to be contested on August 25th at UFC Lincoln in Nebraska. Grasso ruptured her LCL about 60% during a sparring session last Thursday in Guadalajara, according to MMA Fighting.
Don't care about either one of them, unfortunately.
Yeah,
hope she gets better, though.
Yeah, so there's another fight that ain't going to happen. Back to the UFC pops here. Muslim Salikov, I guess is how you say his name, was flagged by USADA for failing a drug test. The UFC released a statement announcing that the 34-year-old Silikov is facing a doping violation after an out-of-competition sample collected on June 7th, 2018 in Russia tested positive for banned substances. Wait a minute. A Russian athlete tested positive for doping? No way.
Not touch that one.
You gotta knock me over with a feather. Moving on.
Send your letters to @Pod Society.
Yeah. Make sure they are written in crayon and all of your R's are backwards. Just so I...
Hey, listen, TJ, I heard the R, man.
Oh, man. Man, Hulk Hogan heard the R, man.
Hey, TJ, didn't you actually get your hands on that letter about Mr. Roman Reigns?
Oh, my gosh. Yes, written in purple crayon. There you go.
Should tweet that out for all of the listeners.
You'd have to send that to me again. I lost it.
How did you lose such gold?
Oh,
How
I know.
do you lose it? It's in your phone.
Because I didn't save it. That's how. It was just in my messages, and it's like
messages again, but whatever.
yeah,
right?
I'd have to scroll.
You literally have to delete it in order for it not to be saved.
Yeah, well, I'd have to scroll back through my messages for like how long ago did you send that? Like
No,
3,
you don't.
4 weeks.
You just click on the. I'll tell you about it later. No, you don't have to do that. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay, yeah,
Go on,
because if you can show me a better way to do it, I would appreciate it because I seriously like. Because there were a few times I sent you a pic or you sent me one, and it was like 3 weeks later, and I'm like, crap, now I got to scroll back through all the messages, and that's a pain in the ass. Because you and I,
Rob saw TJ doesn't know how to use a phone. Let's go back to
I don't know how to use Facebook Messenger apparently. David Branch will face off with fellow middleweight contender Ronaldo Jacare Souza on UFC 230 on November 30th at Madison Square Garden in New York City.
Yes, Jacare still fights.
How old is he?
He's up there. I don't know how old though.
Yeah. So there you go. That was the last UFC story I had, by the way. Ending on a low note, I guess. Did you have anything else MMA related?
You did it backwards this week. Usually it's the UFC and everyone else. And you ended on Bellator, and I ended on the low note. It's still ended on the low note.
I know. It's just like, start low, end low. That's my strategy, bro. I don't know. That was it. I really didn't have any blockbuster stories to really cover. The biggest story I had, or the two big stories I had, were the Anderson Silva one and the Vulcan being out with a broken nose story. And then, of course, Gustafson saying he wants a piece of DC. It's coming for you, mother effer. Other than that, I just wasn't really anything else to go over. Did I miss anything, though?
Yay!
What?
Let's get to the list, bro.
All right, yeah, it's Greg's turn, bro. Let's wrap this up here with Greg's list of the top 10 sequels to wrestling matches. Here,
right,
Abraham Lincoln.
Wow. There it is. You said it. The world
Boom, there it is. Was that the one you said you weren't going to tell me?
Nope.
Oh, so I'm still missing one?
You are, Cam.
Damn.
We'll get it. All right, let's do this.
What the hell?
Number 10. No one said this. I'm shocked. It said Bayley versus Sasha in the Iron Man match.
That was...
I have my honorable mentions.
That was on my my honorable mentions, yeah.
A lot of these we've already said, too.
All right.
I see 2 that we haven't said. I said 9, Cena Rock 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, number 8, I said Rock Austin 2. I thought that was the best of the trilogy. You're wrong, but go ahead.
What the hell?
Number 7, I said TLC 2. I can't believe TJ left that one off. I'm shocked.
Yeah, I don't understand how.
I had to redo my list because there were quite a few that I had forgotten the first time around, and I was like, "Oh man, how did I So it's like I had left off
about professional wrestling matches.
Yeah, I'd left off the Usos versus New Day, and I was like, "Wait a minute, what the hell?" So I had to go back and put that on. Yeah.
Number 6, I said Bret Hart and Austin, WrestleMania 13. Phenomenal match.
Oh, yeah. That's
phenomenal.
Dave Meltzer said that was one of the greatest matches of all time. So if Uncle Dave says it, it is.
The greatest double switch. The greatest double switch in history.
Yep. Crazy.
Number 5 was Undertaker and Triple H, Hell in a Cell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Number 4, I said Shawn Michaels and John Cena on Raw in London.
Oh, yeah.
What is that crap match on me?
Yeah. And then the next two, no one said. I'm shocked. Number 3, I said The Shield versus Evolution at Payback 2014.
I was thinking that
match was nuts.
Yeah. Those were really a really good series of matches they had. I thoroughly enjoyed them.
Yeah. Sleeper was The Shield and the Wyatt family, too. That was nuts.
That was another one I was thinking about.
Yeah. Number 2, I said Styles versus Cena at SummerSlam 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
always think that's the first one.
It's like number 3, I believe.
Yeah. We got the tag match that I had there.
And then my number 1 was the same as yours. Shawn Michaels, Undertaker 2 at WrestleMania 26.
Nah.
I had a feeling our number 1 would match up.
It wasn't very clear how much those two matches were incredible.
Yeah. Man, I can't believe neither one of you said either one of the Flair Steamboat matches. Like, seriously?
I did think about it.
I did think about it.
I want to try to narrow it down with them.
Well, I mean, good.
I would have picked Nashville, by the way, just for the record.
Yeah. Well, one, I forget the event. Here it is right here. Let's run through honorable mentions. The ones that you guys have not mentioned, I thought were super close to making it to my list. One of them, I said Batista versus Triple H, Hell in a Cell from Vengeance 2005.
I had it, but I bumped it.
Yeah, that was a fantastic.
That one, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it was a fantastic one. Also, I said Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero, WrestleMania 21. I mean,
no, I did think about that.
Yeah, I thought that was just phenomenal. I mean, all of their matches were great, but that one especially.
They had like 90 matches, so it's kind of hard to determine which one.
Yeah, I know. Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho, the unsanctioned match from Unforgiven 2005. And I said another one, Bret Hart versus Owen Hart, cage match from SummerSlam 1994.
Oh, how do I not have that?
Yeah, that was fantastic.
I love that match.
Yep. John Cena versus Edge, TLC, Unforgiven 2006.
In Toronto, right? That was epic.
Yeah. That was the one where Edge ate it through a crap ton of tables. These last three.
Like I've seen a lawsuit and banished from Raw or whatever.
Yeah. Well, these last three, as a heads up, were all Cena. Next one, I know this one is like, how do you pick? Because there's there's a million of them. But John Cena versus Randy Orton, TLC from TLC 2013. I thought that was a really good one. That's the one frickin' Cena ate table and faced first to end the match. And then the last one, I don't know how many people will agree with me on this one, but I said John Cena versus JBL, I Quit from Judgment Day 2005.
Yeah, almost seriously bleeding to death.
Oh, I know. He lost buckets of blood.
They broke their Muda scale.
Yeah, right. So yeah, that is it, and that's a wrap up for this week's episode. Kyle and I will do a YouTube exclusive about what happened on Raw, because since we were going live. And next week's top list is the top 5 wrestling talk shows. So there you go. Should be good, bro. Thank you guys for joining me.
Of course.
And thank you all for joining us on the reboot of the Podcast Wrestling Society. We will see you next week. Later.
Adios, amigos.
This has been a Drama City production.